Hello friends, I hope you are all doing good. Welcome to the brand new series of indirect taxation for CMA Inter students. By end of this video, you are going to understand what is indirect taxation or what is the syllabus of indirect taxation for CMA Inter students. Then what do you mean by tax? What are the different types of taxes and what are the constitutional provision with regard to taxation? So let us, without wasting a single second, let us straight away start with today's discussion. Okay, before starting today's discussion, let me just introduce myself to you all as I am new to you. I am CA Dilip Raj Purohit. I am a practicing chartered accountant in Bangalore. I also teach GST to various institutes in Bangalore, including the Bangalore branch of ICAI. So I teach CA GST or indirect taxation for CA, CS and CMA, all the three courses and both the levels, inter level and final level. With this brief introduction about me, let me straight away start with the discussion about the course which is there for you, in a course of indirect taxation which is applicable for you and the flow of that particular course. Okay, so for CMA Inter student, for CMA, so this course which is been recorded is specially for CMA Inter students only. For CMA Inter students, there are two groups in your intermediate level, group 1, group 2. In group 2, you have a paper called as paper number 11, which talks about what, sir? Which talks about indirect taxation. Paper number 11 is there, which talks about indirect taxation. This paper number 11 is for how many marks, sir? It is for 100 marks. Now this paper is divided into 2 arrow marks, meaning in indirect taxation you are going to learn two different things. Sir, what are these two different things which I am going to learn in this particular indirect taxation? One is GST and the other part which you are going to learn is customs. Remember, the paper for you is for 100 marks, GST is for 80 marks and the customs which is there is for 20 marks. Okay, the GST syllabus in your indirect taxation is for how much marks, sir? It is for 80 marks and the customs contains 20% of your syllabus, which is 20 marks. Okay, sir. Now, there are various topics which you will learn under GST and there are various topics which you learn under customs. So this is about your course introduction. What is the course all about? And these videos which are there are specifically for CMA students. Sir, where can I find this video, sir? You can find this video in my mobile application, which is Dilip Raj Purohit classes. You can go to Play Store. I'll also provide the link from where you can download this mobile application in the description. But if you want to directly go and download, you can download it from Play Store. You should just write Dilip Raj Purohit classes and you'll find this particular app wherein you can download, and there is a specific folder. There are folders depending upon what type of course it is, whether for CA, CS or CMA. So there will be a separate folder for CMA intermediate students. So you can click in that particular course and you can find all the different videos, etc. with regard to CMA intermediate. Okay. As of now, this is a demo lecture which I'll be uploading on my mobile application also and YouTube channel also. Only this one demo lecture will be uploaded on YouTube channel. The other demo lectures will be there on my mobile application. So anyone interested can please download the application and watch the other demo lectures. Now, okay, so you have what, sir? 80 marks is for GST and 20 marks is for customs. Now, sir, this recording which you are doing or this course which is being made by you, for which attempt students are you making this particular course, sir? So my question is, sir, for which attempt or who are the students who can come and take this particular classes? This course is specially designed for June 2021 students. So those students who are writing or who are giving their examination in June 2021 are required to this course is made specifically for them, sir. Then is this course not good for December students, sir? No, this course is equally important for December 21 student also. These recordings we are for this current financial year, current calendar year, sorry, not financial year, current calendar year, which includes the examination which is going to happen in June 2021 and the examination which is happening in December 2021. Sir, I am writing my examination in December 2021. Oh sir, normally sir, we see in news papers, we see in news channels, etc., that there are a lot of changes which is happening in this subject called as GST, and also customs also. Customs normally changes don't happen frequently, but GST, sir, there are a lot of changes happening. So sir, if I am giving my examination in December, how will I get all these amendments? How will I get all the clarifications, circulars issued by department, sir? If government is making any changes in the law by way of notification, amendment, circular, clarification, how me as a student will get access to that particular thing? Now, normally I make amendment videos and upload on my YouTube channel. So all the changes which are there, this material which will be used by me, so there is a separate material which we have. So this material which will be used by me, it is specifically applicable for those who are writing their examination in June 2021. But if you are writing your examination in December 2021, is this material good enough? Yes, this material is good enough. Whatever changes are made from, normally what happens is, whatever exam you have examination in June 21, whichever attempt you are writing your examination, 6 months before your attempt, whatever changes have been made by the government, that changes will be applicable to you in your examination. Therefore, if I talk about June examination, 6 months before June I should go. Before June means, sir, at the last date of the June or first date of the June? Normally it is first date of the June. So 6 months before June if I go, it is 30th November 2020. So if you are writing your examination on June 21, all the changes which is made under law by the government by way of notification, circular, clarifications, etc., will be applicable to you till which date? Till 30th November 2020. So whatever changes has been made under GST till 30th November 2020 will be applicable to you in your examination. Sir, that means whatever changes are made after this date will not be applicable for June examination? Yes, those changes will not be applicable for June examination. Sir, then if I am writing my examination in December 21, for me, what is the cutoff date, sir? Again, go 6 months back. So 6 months back if I go, it is 31st May 2021. Whatever changes has been made in the GST law from whichever date it is, or till 31st May 2021, all those amendments, all those circulars, all those clarifications given by government will be applicable to you in your examination which is happening in December 21. So what I do is, this course which is designed is specifically designed for June students, meaning the material which you will be getting will have all the amendments, circulars, clarifications, or whatever changes has been made in the GST law till 30th November 2020. This material is updated with all those particular details. Now, sir, what about the changes which are happening from, I am writing my examination in December. So what about the changes happening from 30th November 2020 till 31st May 2021? What about this changes? For these changes, I will be making an amendment video which I will be uploading on my YouTube channel and which can also be accessed through my mobile application. So this is freely available on the YouTube channel, which can be watched by anyone, which I release every 6 months basis. Once the institute releases the amendment details, whatever amendments are applicable for you in your examination, those materials will be used by me. I'll make my own material and make the amendment videos. Okay, sir. Sir, for as of now, we are clear with the subject. What is our subject? What are the marks allocation for GST and customs, and about the amendments which we have to take up. Now, sir, can you also talk about the exam pattern, sir? Sir, Course introduction is done, sir. Amendment also is done, and applicability of amendment also, we know that whatever amendments are made 6 months before my examination will be applicable to me. Whatever amendments are made 6 months before examination will be applicable to me. Meaning, as on today, the day when I am watching the video, I am watching the video on, say for example, in the month of February. As on today, whatever changes are made by the government will not be applicable for June examination. They will be applicable for December examination, but they will not be applicable for June examination. 1st of February, budget is going to come. Now that by 1st of February, will the changes which is made on the budget be applicable to those students who are writing in the June? No, it will not be applicable to those students who are writing in June. It will be applicable to the students who are writing in December attempt. Okay, sir. Now, sir, can you also talk about exam pattern? Normally, I make a separate discussion or separate video on exam pattern, etc. But just a brief discussion we'll do on exam pattern. You have two papers. I mean, you have one paper only, that is indirect taxation, which will be divided into two parts. Part A is with regard to GST, which is for 80 marks, and part B is with regard to customs, which is for 20 marks. Now, this GST which is there, the exam pattern, it is very beautiful paper. Any one of you can score out of 100, you can minimum score 90 marks. The question paper pattern is so simple. The way they give questions is very simple. The way the problems or the way the question paper is there, the answering style, etc., the correction by the institute, etc., is so simple that any person by studying this particular subject can get minimum 90 marks in their examination. Sir, 90 marks, yes, you can get 90 marks, don't worry about it. Once we start our discussion on the subject, you will fall in love with the subject. Once you fall in love with something, you will give your 100% when you are writing that particular examination or whatever phase of life it is. Now, 80 marks GST which is there. In that, in your examination, you have something called as MCQs. You have something called as match the following. Oh, sir, match the following. Yes, match the following. Then you have something called as fill in the blanks. Sir, fill in the blanks we have. Sir, when we were in school, no, sir, we had all this match the following, fill in the blanks. Yes, you have all those things now also. You have something called as true or false. Sir, true or false also we have. Yes, this will come for 20 marks. And you have others. Others means what, sir? Descriptive questions and practical questions, which will come for remaining 60 marks. Similarly, under customs, you have MCQs for 5 marks and others, that is descriptive and practical question for 15 marks. This is how your examination will be there. Meaning, around 15 to 20 minutes of your examination, during first 15 to 20 minutes, you can answer 25 marks of your portions. 25% of your syllabus will be answered by you within that 15 to 20 minutes. Why? Because match the following, fill in the blanks, true or false, etc. These questions are very simple and straightforward questions, which if you have repeated revision of the subject, you will be able to answer these questions straight away without any hesitation. Now, this being said, shall we now start with the syllabus discussion? No, sir. Before that, tell us, sir, how will I be able to take your classes? Now, please note, the classes are available in 3 different modes. One is mobile application. Second mode is Google Drive mode. And third is pen drive mode. So the courses will be applicable in these different scenarios: mobile application mode, Google Drive mode, and pen drive mode. So those who have a mobile phone and do not have a laptop, etc., can go for this mobile application, wherein all the videos will be there in the application. Once you purchase the course, these videos will be available in that application, which can also be downloaded by you. Whatever you are downloading will be saved in that mobile application, which can be viewed by you at a later period of time. Normally, these courses will have 1.5 views. Sir, what is this 1.5 views? Meaning what, sir? Say for example, if a particular lecture is for 1 hour, you will get 1 hour full view. You'll also get 30 minutes extra. Meaning what? Say you are studying a particular chapter, say supply under GST. You are studying this supply under GST chapter. You have studied the chapter. Somewhere you feel, oh, there is, sir, can I pause this? Yes, definitely you can pause and watch, okay? But say somewhere you feel, okay, this point is something which I am not able to understand. Or you can write, say when you are studying supply, I discuss section 71A, 71B, 71C. So after you watch the video, you feel that 71B is something which I have to see again. My concept with regard to 71B is not clear. So you will have extra half an hour available with you, 30 minutes available with you for that particular video. You can go back or you can watch it later also at any time in future whenever you are revising. Say you have done reading all the you are done watching all the syllabus, you have completed your course, then in future you feel that yes, no, this particular concept is not clear to me, let me just have a look into this concept again. At that time also you can go back and watch that particular video. You will have extra 30 minutes, meaning you have 1.5 views for each and every video which is uploaded. Meaning if the video is of 1 hour, you will get 1 hour 30 minutes view time for that particular video. Same is applicable for Google Drive and pen drive modes also. So mobile application is feasible only for those students who do not have a laptop, wherein they and who wants to read, or who are normally traveling, or who will be at office, etc., who will not get time for specific time for studying, or mostly who don't have a laptop. I would like to say in that manner that a person who is not having a laptop, everyone has a mobile phone. You can watch these videos in your mobile phone, download these videos, or watch it live only on the mobile phone. Then Google Drive mode and pen drive mode is for those people who want to watch this video on big screen. So if you want to watch this on big screen, then meaning laptop or computers, etc., then you can go for Google Drive mode or pen drive mode. If you're ordering for pen drives, there will be rupees 500 extra charged for that pen drive which I am giving, because there will be a pen drive which will be given to you, which can be used by you permanently even after once the video is once you have done your course, once your examination is done, then that pen drive is of no use to you, correct? So whatever data is there in that pen drive, you can delete and you can use that pen drive for your personal purpose. So if you are taking the product in pen drive mode, then extra rupees 500 will be charged for that pen drive which is been given to you. Then it is also available on Google Drive mode, wherein you can download all the videos from Google Drive. It will be installed in your system, or it will be downloaded in your system, and you can watch it as and when you want to watch it. There is a specific application which is there. Only in that application these videos will be available for watching purpose. Okay, so this is how the course will be available to you: mobile application view, Google Drive and pen drive mode. Okay, sir. Once I buy a course, what are the materials which I am going to get? You will get chart material. You will get a chart material. For CMA students, entire syllabus is covered in 30 pages. Your entire syllabus of 100 marks is covered just in 30 pages. Your entire syllabus I have covered only in 30 pages. So this chart material will be a color chart material, wherein, see, this is the chart material which you are going to get. So it will be color chart material. All this different chapter wise the material has been prepared. It is a very beautiful material, very helpful for your daily revision purpose, very helpful for your one day before examination revision purpose. Lots of good wishes have come to me for this chart material, because lots of people have got taken advantages of this chart material, and they have felt very good about this. So this is the chart material which you are going to get. Subject wise, separate topic wise, the chart material has been prepared. Your entire syllabus of 30 marks including customs is covered in just, sorry, not 30 marks, your entire syllabus of 100 marks is covered, including customs, is covered just in 30 pages. Okay, sir. Then you have this GST material which will also be made available to you. Now, talking about the materials which is available, one is the chart material. Chart material will be available in color format only. The way you are seeing the chart material, the way you are seeing, if there is a particular color given to this chart material to a particular chapter, in the same color format, very nice material will be given to you. However, this subject or the chapters which we normally discuss, the textbook which you are going to get will be available in black and white format. But please note, this textbook and chart material will also be available to you, or it will also be given, it will also be given to you in mobile view mode, wherein you can view it on your mobile application, and they will be available in color format only. Okay, so apart from the hard copy, you will get hard copy of chart material and black and white textbook. This chart material is called as Dilip's tie. What is Dilip's tie, sir? Chart material is called as what? Dilip's tie. Sir, what is this Dilip's tie? Dilip's, this is enough. This is enough for your revision purpose. This is enough for you to go through the syllabus at one go. Okay, so Dilip's tie, and the textbook is called as Dilip's material on GST. The textbook hard copy will be given to you in black and white format textbook. Chart material will be given to you in color format. Both this chart material and textbook will be uploaded or will be available on the mobile view mode in color format only. So any person who is not carrying a chart material, who has purchased the course but not carrying the chart material, and he's traveling somewhere, he's at a place where he's doing meditation, or he has went for trekking purpose in some hilly area, etc., he can always have this option of viewing or revising GST. Sir, I want to go to a hill point and I want to revise GST over there. So you can always you will always have this option to read this from the mobile application. Always you will have this option to read this from the mobile application. So these are the materials which you are going to get. So we have discussed about what, sir? We have discussed about CMA intercourse. Then what is the paper? 100 marks paper, 80 is GST and 20 is customs. Then we also saw about amendments which is applicable for one particular examination, and these videos which are recorded are exclusively for June students, but December students can also take up these videos, and all the amendments which are there will be made available to you on future date whenever it is released. Then exam pattern also we had seen. We will have MCQs, match the following, fill in the answer, and the true and false practical questions, etc. And about the courses, how will these courses be available? It will be available in mobile application, Google Drive mode and pen drive mode. And what are the different materials which you are going to get? Okay, so with this being said, let us straight away start our discussion on our topic, which is GST. Let us straight away start our discussion. Very nice subject it is. With regard to this subject, don't have any other thoughts in mind. You are attending these classes, you are taking my classes. Trust me with regard to this subject. I will make sure that you get more than 60. That is exemption. See, I have seen all these days how many of your students I have taught. CMA inter students are the students who have always got. In my class, if there are 100 students, 90% of the students have got exemption, because that is how this paper is there. Okay, that is how this subject that is how simple this subject is. So just listen to me, just trust me with regard to this subject, and I'll make sure that you all get exemption in this particular subject. Okay, just you should trust me and do what I tell. Every day you will have to give half an hour for this subject. Meaning what, sir? Once I complete the classes, and at the time when I am doing the classes, and even after completion of classes, you will have to give every day only half an hour to this subject to get minimum exemption marks. Exemption is for sure. If you give every day half an hour, exemption is for sure. Definitely you will get exemption in your examination. That is my guarantee. 100% you will get exemption if you give half an hour every day. Half an hour, sir, giving half an hour means what, sir? I should keep this book in front of me and I should see the subject half an hour. No. Half an hour revision every day. Once the course is completed, half an hour every day you revise whatever was learned by you. Every day half an hour you give for your revision purpose. You will understand how it works. Okay. During the course of our classes, I'll tell you how to revise. I'll tell you from which material to revise, etc. So you'll understand everything. Okay, so let us now step into the discussion of taxation, and then gradually we'll start our discussion on GST. So first we'll be starting the discussion on GST. We'll be completing the discussion on GST. We'll complete the syllabus of GST first, and then we'll go to the customs part. Okay, now before we start our discussion on GST, first we should know what do you mean by tax. Maybe some students are completely new to this word of taxation. Maybe some students would have already studied about taxation in group 1, which is income tax. So it becomes my duty also to make you understand or to tell you what do you mean by tax. Okay, sir, what is this tax, sir? Before discussing on this particular topic called as taxation or what do you mean by tax, let me tell you a small story. Now, me and my daughter, we had been to a park near my house. So there is a park near my house wherein we go every day, evening times we go. She plays different activities, she does different activities, she does, so there are sliding games, there are seesaw, etc. So she plays all these different games. There are other kids also who come to the park. Now, yesterday when I was coming back with her from the park, she asked me, "Father, today I am very tired, father. I played a lot of games, father." I said, "Wow, yes, every day you play a lot of games, so maybe you are tired every day." She asked me, "Father, tell me, father, in this park I am coming every day, I am playing games, etc. Father, who has installed this seesaw, father? Father, in this seesaw, no, father, I am sitting on this seesaw, opposite side someone else is sitting, or you are only pulling the seesaw from by your hand, etc. So father, my question is, who has installed this seesaw? Who has installed that swing where I swing beautifully, where air comes, I am swinging beautifully, etc. Who has installed this swing? Who has installed that sliding game, father? Who has installed? I never saw you installing all these things. And I have also personally not installed anything, and we don't pay also anything to go play this different games. Father, I remember you taking me to Wonderla last year, where we had different types of water games, etc. There we had to pay before entering it, meaning there I understood, father, that there is a company which is owning that particular land, which is owning all the different rights. So if I want to use that rights, etc., car dashing game we paid, etc., so for that I have to pay them. But father, my question is here, father, we have not paid them anything, but still I am going and playing there. There are many children who are coming and playing over there. Similarly, father, outside our house and on the street side, we see electricity poles, we see electricity lights also, because of which our area looks very good. There is lightning in our area throughout the night. Same thing is not there in village side, or same things are there in village side but little less quantity. So father, who installed this electricity poles, father? Who is paying the money for the electricity consumption on these poles? See, father, whatever electricity is consumed by us in our house, we are paying the money. But father, who is paying the money for electricity which is consumed over here? Who is that person who is paying the money for electricity which is consumed in this poles, etc.? She asked me. I told, "Beta, there is this government takes care of all these things. This park belongs to government. There is this municipality who will take care of this particular park. Similarly, the local municipality will take care of the electricity poles, etc., which is there in the city. So government takes care of all these things." Okay, father, government is taking care of all these things, but father, how do government get money? Is government also going to some job? Is government also a chartered accountant like you, which who is involved in practice? Is government also doing anything like that? No, I said no. Government does not go to any job, or it does not own any company. Government take money from us. You are giving the money, I am giving the money to the government. Because of our money, government is able to do all these different things. Father, you are giving the money, I am giving the money. How, father? How am I giving the money to the government? I never gave anything, no, because whatever money you gave me, I purchase biscuits, etc. I told, yes, that is how government gets the money. You go, you purchase a biscuit, correct? You are going to a shop, you are purchasing a biscuit. You like Oreo biscuit. You are going to a shop, you purchase a dairy milk chocolate, etc. You go to the shop, you purchase Kinder Joy because there are toys also. You like to eat Kinder Joy, etc. Now, whenever you go and purchase something, I told my daughter, whenever you go and purchase something, at the time when you are making the payment for that product, no, for that biscuit, chocolates, etc., you also pay tax to them. You also pay something called as tax to them. This tax is gone or this tax is given by the shopkeeper to the government. Whatever item you are purchasing, you purchased the Barbie doll, no, last week? Yes, father, I purchased this Barbie doll. This Barbie doll was worth rupees how much? Father, it was worth rupees 9,999 rupees. Now, this includes tax. Assuming this Barbie doll includes tax of 99 rupees. So what the shopkeeper will do, he will take this 99 rupees tax from you and he will pay it to the government. He will pay it to the government. So all the different facilities which you are getting, all the different facilities which you are getting or you are seeing around you is all funded by government. Whether it is road, we have good infrastructure facilities, good roads in front of our house, we have bridges, bridge etc. In different ways, we have highways etc. So all this infrastructure facility is given by government to us. Government is investing money and constructing this road. Similarly, we have government schools, similarly we have government colleges, similarly we have government hospital where the treatment is done at a very nominal price or it is done for free. Similarly, government schools where the payment of fees is very nominal or it is done on free basis. Then we have this defense etc., who is taking care of us, who is protecting us etc. For all these different activities which is undertaken by government, they require money. They require money. Whatever different activities government is undertaking, definitely they'll require money. This money which the government requires for undertaking these different activities is paid by us to them. We are the people who are paying the money to government for all these different activities which is undertaken by them. Sir, how are we paying the money? We are paying the money to them in the form of tax. To run different activities, to run different initiatives which is undertaken by government, government needs money. This money is paid by us to government in the form of tax. So whatever taxes is paid by us, government uses it for the benefit of general public. For the benefit of general public. So what do you mean by tax, sir? Tax, sir, okay sir, the general understanding of tax we understood. Tax means the money which is paid by us individual for government to take care of different activities. Whatever money we are paying, we as an individual are paying for different activities which is undertaken by government, that money is called as tax, sir. That is what we understood. But sir, what is law telling about it? Law says tax is defined as, I hope the general understanding of tax is clear. See, government needs money for its working purpose. That money which government wants for its working purpose is given as by us to government in the form of tax. So what do you mean by tax? Tax definition. Tax may be defined as pecuniary burden laid upon individuals or property owners to support the government. It is a payment which is extracted by legislative authority. What is the definition of tax telling? It is a pecuniary burden. Pecuniary burden means what, sir? It is a monetary burden. Monetary. It is a payment which you are making in the form of money. You are not giving any clothes. You are not making any donation, okay? You are not giving any clothes. You are not giving fruits, etc. No. You are making a payment to them in the form of money. It is a pecuniary burden. It is a burden on us. Obviously, tax is burden. No, who likes to pay the taxes? It is burden. We feel, oh, I should pay a tax, etc. So it is a pecuniary burden. It is a monetary burden upon us individuals. You and me, we are all individuals or property owners. Why is this pecuniary burden on us? To support the government. To support the government. Government is undertaking different activities. So we support the government for undertaking these activities in the form of making payment to them, that is tax. It is a payment extracted by legislative authority. There is always an authority. If there is a tax which is collected from you, there is an authority because of which the tax is paid. You are paying the tax to that particular authority. Income tax authority, you are paying tax to income tax authority. GST department is there where you are paying GST, etc. Okay, now the question is whether tax is voluntary or compulsory. Is this tax which you are paying to the government, is it voluntary contribution which you are making? Answer is no. Voluntary contribution means the donation which you make in temples, the donation which you make in charitable institutions, etc. Now tax is not voluntary. You are not paying out of your will. You are not paying out of your will. It is something which you are paying because government is asking you to pay. See, Donation is something which is done voluntary basis. Okay, you are voluntarily, you feel, oh wow, this is a nice charitable institute, I should donate some money, I should donate some clothes, I should donate some food items. That is voluntary contribution. But in case of tax, it is not voluntary, it is compulsory payment which you are making. Government says, or there is a law which is telling you, if you are purchasing a product, you should pay GST. If you are purchasing some product, you should pay something. If you are taking some services, you should pay something. If you are earning the income, pay the income tax, etc. So there is a law which is telling you to do it. So meaning it is not voluntary, it is compulsory. A law is there which is governing all these different activities. So tax is not voluntary payment or donation, but it is enforced contribution. Enforced contribution means what? It is a law which is asking you to make the payment compulsorily. It is enforced. There is a enforcement which is there, and extracted pursuant to legislative authority. So this government, legislative authority, etc., they make law because of which we are making contribution, compulsory contribution. That particular amount is called as tax. It can be any type of tax which you are paying, okay? Not only income tax or GST, it can be any tax. Say you have a property, you pay property tax. You purchase a vehicle, you pay road tax. You import anything, you import any goods, you pay custom duty, etc. So there are different forms of tax which is collected by the government in different scenarios. Okay, sir. Now, I hope the meaning of tax is very clear to all. Now, in India, normally we have two types of taxes. Okay, before going to that particular chart, we'll see over here. We have two types of taxes. One type of tax is called as direct tax. The another type of tax is called as what, sir? Indirect tax. So there are how many types of taxes? There are two types of taxes. Which are these two types of taxes? Direct tax and indirect tax. Sir, what is this direct tax and what is this indirect tax? Direct tax is a tax where the person who is paying the tax to the government and the person who is suffering the payment of tax is same person. The payer and the sufferer is same. Sir, in case of direct tax, what happens, sir? In case of direct tax, the incidence of the tax and the impact of payment of the tax is on same person. Meaning what, sir? Meaning, say for example, Mr. Dilip is earning income. Who is earning the income? Sir, you are earning the income. I am earning an income of 10 lakh rupees. Government is asking me to pay a tax of 20% on this. So I have to pay a tax of 2 lakh rupees. Who is earning the income? You are earning the income. Who is making the payment of tax to the government? You are making the payment of tax to the government. This happens in case of a direct tax. In case of direct tax, what happens? The person who is paying the tax to the government and the person who is suffering, I am suffering, I am paying it out from my own pocket. The person who is suffering and the person who is actually paying to the government is same person. Whereas in case of indirect taxes, it is not like this. In case of indirect taxes, what happens, sir? I am a person who goes to a toy store. I go to a toy store, I purchase a Barbie doll or I purchase a toy car for my daughter. Okay, I purchase this toy car for my daughter. Now, at the time when I purchase this toy car which is there, this car which is purchased by me is worth rupees 1000. And on this I have to pay a tax of 12 or 10% for easy calculation. 10% tax I have to pay. How much tax I will pay? 100 rupees. So total amount for this car to be purchased by me, the total amount which is paid by me is how much, sir? The total amount which is paid for purchase of this car is 1100 rupees, which includes 1000 rupees is the selling price and tax amount of 100 rupees. Now what is happening over here? There is a person who is selling this car. There is a person who is selling this car. Who is this person who is selling the car, sir? This car is sold by this toy company, correct? The car is sold by this toy store. He is the person who is selling the car to me. I am the making of payment of amount for this car. at the time when I am paying the amount to him, I am also paying tax of 100 rupees. This tax will be paid by him to government. This tax of 100 rupees which I am paying it to him will be paid by him to government. Here, in case of indirect taxes, the payer and the sufferer is two different persons. See this example, who is making the payment of tax to the government? Sir, the toy company is making that payment of tax to the government. But who actually suffered this payment? Is this toy company paying to the government from his own pocket? No, I have paid him 100 rupees in the form of tax, which he is paying it to the government. So in case of indirect taxes, the incidence is on me. The incidence is at the time of sale of this product, and the impact of the tax is on me. In case of indirect taxes, the incidence is sale, the transaction which happened, that sale creates that incidence or creates a liability to pay the taxes, and the final burden is on the consumer who is purchasing that product. In case of direct taxes, it is the same person. The person who is earning only has to make the payment. So incident impact is on same person, whereas in case of indirect taxes, it is not like that. Incidence is at the time of sale and impact is on the final person who is purchasing that product or who is paying money for that particular supply. In case of indirect taxes, the payer and the sufferer is two different persons. The tax is suffered by the final consumer who is purchasing the product, and the tax is paid by the company from whom I am purchasing the product, or the shop from whom I am purchasing the product. Okay. So point number one, difference number one is what? In case of direct taxes, payer and the sufferer is one and the same, whereas in case of indirect taxes, payer is not the sufferer of tax, whereas sufferer is not paying the tax directly to the government. I am suffering the tax, I am not paying directly to the government in case of indirect taxes. In general word, if you see, you go to an hospital. Normal example if I want to give you, you go to an hospital, you are not feeling well, you go to the hospital. Doctor puts an injection to you, or the nurse, beautiful nurse is coming and putting an injection to you. Now you are not feeling well, the nurse is putting an injection to you. She is putting that injection to you. Now the injection is put on you, you are feeling the pain. What is happening? She is putting this injection to you and you are feeling the pain. This is what, sir? Direct taxes. Incident and impact. Incidents, the injection is put on you, and the pain, impact of that injection is also on you. That happens in case of direct taxes. You go to hospital with your girlfriend. You are taking your girlfriend to the hospital, or you may take your boyfriend also if you are a girl. So whenever I am talking, I will talk from my angle. Okay, I am a boy, so I will talk from the angle of I will have a girlfriend obviously, so I'll talk from that angle. So I'm taking my girlfriend to the hospital. The doctor is putting an injection to her. I am feeling the pain. What is happening over here? Injection is put on my girlfriend, but I am feeling the pain. Oh my God, doctor, salpa slow, so doctor, please, doctor, little slowly you do, doctor. I am feeling the pain over here. Correct? So here what is happening? Incidence is on her, impact is on me. Incidence is on her, impact is on me. This happens in case of indirect taxes. Next, they say direct taxes are income based and indirect taxes are supply based. That is, it is a tax on goods and services. Now, indirect taxes are not on the income which you are earning. Indirect taxes is on a product which you purchase. It can be any goods, it can be any services. If you are, say for example, you are coming and learning GST from me, I am providing you services. On this, what type of tax is government asking me to pay? Government is asking me to pay indirect taxes. Now, by giving you these services, I am earning income also. On this income, I have to pay a tax called as direct tax or income tax. For the services which I am giving to you, indirect tax. For the income which I am earning, direct tax. So direct taxes are normally income based and indirect taxes are supply based, or it is a tax on goods and services. Then in case of direct tax, the rates are different from person to person. In case of indirect tax, rate does not differ from person to person. In simple words, if I want to tell you, direct tax are progressive in nature and indirect tax are regressive in nature. Sir, what do you mean by this, sir? In case of direct tax, the rate differs. In case of indirect tax, rate does not differ. What do you mean by this? Direct tax is progressive, indirect tax is regressive. What do you mean by this, sir? In case of direct tax, what happens is, in case of what, sir? Direct tax. So the example of direct tax which we are taking over here is what? Income tax. In case of direct tax, they see whether you are actually capable of paying the tax or not. They will not collect taxes from anyone. Okay? It is not that any person going on the street, they'll ask them to pay income tax. No. They'll see whether you are capable of paying the taxes. Meaning, a beggar does not pay the same amount of tax which is paid by Mukesh Ambani. Whatever tax is paid by Mukesh Ambani and whatever tax is income tax is paid by a beggar is not always the same. Meaning, under income tax, what happens is, or under direct tax, the rate differ from person to person. They say up to 2.5 lakhs. If your income is up to 2.5 lakhs, pay zero tax to me. Don't pay any taxes. If your income is from 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs, pay me 10%. It is 5% now. 5%. If 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, pay me 20%. More than 10 lakhs, pay me 30%. Meaning, what is happening over here? As and when your income is increasing, the amount of tax which you have to pay to the government also increases. In case of direct tax, what is going to happen? As and when your income increases, your liability for payment of tax also will increase. As and when what, sir? As and when the amount of income which you are earning increases, the liability to pay the tax also will increase. This happens in case of your direct taxes. The rate at which you have to pay the taxes will increase. Meaning, the rate in direct taxes are differing from person to person. If a person is earning less than 2.5 lakhs, then he does not have to pay any taxes. If he earns up to 5 lakh rupees, he will have to pay 5% of the taxes. If he is earning up to 10 lakhs, he will have to pay 20% of the taxes. If he is earning more than 10 lakhs, he will have to pay 30%. If he earns even more, say more than 50 lakhs, he will also have to pay surcharge, etc. So here, in case of direct tax, the rate are differing from person to person. Whereas in case of indirect taxes, no, in case of indirect taxes, it does not care, it does not differentiate whether you are a beggar or you are Mukesh Ambani. Whether you are a beggar or a Mukesh Ambani, I don't care. If a beggar goes and purchases a Parle-G biscuit, or if Mukesh Ambani is going and purchasing a Parle-G biscuit, whether a beggar is purchasing or Mukesh Ambani is purchasing, they both will have to pay the same amount of tax. Sir, what do you mean by this, sir? Say for example, Parle-G. Now this Parle-G biscuit which is there, no? Now this Parle-G biscuit is worth rupees 10. This Parle-G biscuit which is there, which you are seeing on the screen, is worth rupees how much? Sir, this Parle-G biscuit which I am seeing is worth rupees 10. Now, if Mukesh Ambani goes and purchases this Parle-G biscuit, he will have to pay how much? 10 rupees. And if the beggar is going and purchasing this Parle-G biscuits, how much will the beggar has to pay? He will also have to pay 10 rupees. Now, you would have seen all these products are normally inclusive of taxes. You would have seen in bracket, say MRP rupees 10, inclusive of all taxes. You would have seen always in the bracket it is written that MRP is inclusive of all taxes. So this product which is purchased by you includes all the different types of taxes which are required to be included. All the different types of taxes. It can be anything, any type of tax. Okay. Now, whether assuming, so this 10 rupees includes 9 rupees is the cost of manufacture and selling price including profit, and 1 rupees is the tax component. Now, whether Mukesh Ambani is purchasing this biscuit or a beggar is purchasing the biscuit, they both have to pay the same amount of tax of how much? They have to pay the same amount of tax of rupees 1. They will have to pay the same amount of tax of rupees 1. So, in case of indirect taxes, the rate does not differ from person to person. Whether you are a beggar, whether you are earning 1 lakh per month, whether you are earning 10 lakhs per month, whether you are earning 5,000 crores per month, I don't care. You will have to pay the same amount of taxes. Therefore, direct taxes are also called as progressive in nature. Direct tax are also called as what? The nature of direct tax is progressive. What do you mean by this progressive in nature? As and when you go to the next level, the amount of tax which you have to pay also increases. It progresses. Each and every stage it will progress. It will increase. Direct tax is progressive in nature, whereas indirect taxes are regressive in nature. Sir, what is this regressive in nature, sir? Regressive in nature means irrespective of your income, whether you are earning 1 lakh rupees or you are earning 5,000 crores, I don't care. Irrespective of your income, you will have to pay me the same amount of tax. So the nature of indirect tax is what? It is regressive. Then whatever tax you are paying in the form of direct tax, whatever direct taxes you are paying will directly go to the central government. The entire revenue of direct tax is going to whom? Central government. Whatever tax you are paying in the form of direct tax, income tax which you pay, central government is the person who will take the entire revenue. Sir, it will not give to state government. No, whatever direct taxes are paid by you will completely go to central government. Whereas in case of indirect taxes, the indirect tax which is paid by you, the revenue will go to both central government and state government. Whatever indirect tax, GST which I am paying, half of it will go to central government, half of it will go to state government. The GST tax which you are paying, indirect tax which you are paying, whether GST etc., whatever forms of indirect taxes are there, which we'll see later. The revenue will go to the central government also and the state government also. Then in case of direct tax, there is something called as previous year and assessment year, whereas in case of indirect taxes we don't have this previous year assessment year concept. Sir, what do you mean by this previous year assessment year concept? In income tax, the income tax law says whatever income is earned by you in the previous year, pay the tax in the assessment year. What is income tax telling? Whatever income is earned by you in the previous year, make the payment of the taxes in the assessment year. Make the payment of the taxes in the assessment year. So if you are earning an income in financial year 2019-20, if you are earning it in the financial year 19-20, you have to pay the tax in year, which year, sir? 2021. Whatever income is earned by you in the previous year, pay the tax to me in the assessment year. But in case of indirect taxes, there is no such concept. You are making a sale now, pay the tax to me now. Government is telling you are making a sale now, no, you pay the taxes to me now. I don't care what is assessment year, I don't care what is previous year. Normally the tax are paid on monthly basis. You will have to pay income tax on, indirect tax on monthly basis. They have a return. You are required to file the return. Every month you are required to file the return. By filing that return, you have to inform the government that I made a sale of 10,000 rupees, I made a sale of 1 lakh rupees, I made a sale of 10 lakh rupees, and pay the tax accordingly to them. But whereas in case of income tax, whatever income you are earning for the entire year, full year, whatever income is earned by you in full year, that is last year, previous year, whatever total income is earned by you, you have to pay the tax in next year, assessment year. That happens in case of income tax. Now, sir, who is making the law with regard to income tax? Who is making the law with regard to GST? The law with regard to income tax or direct taxes are made by CBDT. Central Board of Direct Taxes is the important part of, it is the Department of Revenue with regard to direct taxes, meaning whatever law with regard to direct taxes is made will be made by CBDT. Okay, CBDT is the important source where we'll get information with regard to direct taxes. Whereas in case of indirect taxes, the department is CBIC. This was before called as, this CBIC was before called as CBEC, Central Board of Excise and Customs, but now it is called as what? CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. Then indirect taxes are progressive in nature, indirect taxes are regressive in nature, direct taxes are progressive in nature. So these are the major difference between direct taxes and indirect taxes. Please note, I am going very slow because for this particular indirect tax syllabus which you have is completely new to you all. maybe you would have studied in your BCom, okay, but there are many students who are completely new to this particular syllabus or new to this particular topic of indirect taxation, or they are completely new towards GST. So for you to understand this particular subject, your base should be very clear. The basic knowledge which you should know should be very clear, so that day by day when we'll discuss, going forward when we discuss, you will understand, okay, yeah, you will be able to link it. Yes, I had studied this particular thing over here. So I am purposefully teaching you in a very slow manner, because I want you to be very clear with your concept. Now, what happens in case of direct taxes, sir? In case of direct tax, see, this lady is earning the income, she is paying the tax to the government. She is directly paying, correct? Do you see anyone in between that person, this lady, and the government? So this person is earning the income and it is government. She is making the payment of taxes directly to the government. This happens in case of direct taxes. In case of indirect tax, she is earning or she is purchasing a product from this shop. Okay, she pays the tax to the shops, and finally the tax is paid by the shop to the government. So here in case of indirect taxes, sufferer and the payer are two different persons, whereas in case of direct taxes, they both are same person. They both are same person. Now, features of indirect taxes. Just for knowledge purpose, I have given this. It is nowhere related to your syllabus, etc. Just to know what are the different features of indirect taxes, because GST example, okay, before we go to this point, sir, what is the example of direct tax? Income tax is example of direct taxes. Sir, what is example of indirect tax? GST is an example of indirect tax. Custom duty is an example of indirect tax. Excise duty, value tax, etc. So GST is an example of indirect taxes. Now, what are the features of this indirect taxes? What makes GST as an indirect tax? What are the features of GST, or what are the features of indirect taxes? Now, point number one, indirect tax is an important source of revenue to the government. Majorly around 65% of total tax revenue which the government is getting, the revenue which the government gets, around 65% of that revenue is going to the government in the form of indirect taxes. Around 65%, see, out of 100 rupees which the government is getting in the form of tax, 65 rupees is from indirect tax, and only 35 rupees is going in the form of direct taxes or income tax. Then indirect tax is on commodities and services. Whatever different types of products which are there in India, whatever different types of services which are there in India, on all these commodities, on all these goods, or on all these services, you will have to pay a tax called as indirect tax, that is GST. So indirect tax is a tax on commodities and services. Similarly, in case of indirect taxes, the burden of indirect taxes is shifted from one person to another person. I purchased a product from, now assuming there are three persons involved, one person is the manufacturer, another person is the wholesaler, third person is the retailer. Okay, now the manufacturer will sell the products to wholesaler, wholesaler will pay the tax to the manufacturer, manufacturer will pay the tax to the government. So manufacturer is shifting his burden of payment of tax to the wholesaler. Wholesaler will sell the product to the retailer, he will collect the taxes from the retailer and pay it to the government. Then retailer is going to sell this product to us, the final consumer. He will collect these taxes from us and pay to the government. What is happening over here? The burden of the tax is shifted from one person to another person. The burden of the tax is shifted from one person to another person. When does it happen? It happens only in case of an indirect tax. In case of direct tax, I am earning, I should pay. Aste. Now, this concept we'll understand in our next video, where we'll understand how GST works, etc. The concept of GST. That time we'll understand this even more in a very better manner. So here, in case of direct tax, what happens? The burden of tax is shifted from one person to another person. Then, in case of indirect taxes, features of indirect taxes. In case of indirect taxes, there is no perception of direct pinch. Sir, what do you mean by this no perception of direct pinch? Normally, you remember my daughter, I told her, daughter, you are paying the tax to the government. This road is constructed by you. These lights are installed by you. This park is installed by you. The money which is there is given by you. Daughter told, I gave the money. I never gave the money, no father. She told me, correct? She told me this point. Why? Because she never gave the money directly to the government. In case of indirect taxes, what happens? You don't feel the pain of paying these taxes. See, income tax, I earn the income. You remember this example I gave? He is earning 10 lakh rupees, 20% he has to pay to the government. 2 lakh he is paying to the government. He will always avoid paying these taxes. There is a pinch. He is feeling very bad that he is paying 2 lakh. He has earned very hard and earned a 10 lakh amount of 10 lakh rupees, out of which 2 lakh government is taking. So there is a perception of direct pinch. From my money of 10 lakhs, 2 lakhs is going to the government. There is a perception of direct pinch. Whereas in case of indirect taxes, because the products come on MRP basis, when I purchase this Parle-G biscuit from a shop, in my mind, what do I have? In my mind, I have that this Parle-G biscuit is of 10 rupees. If that person says you pay me 9 rupees and then 1 rupee taxes, then I may feel, oh my god, I'm paying 1 rupee taxes here. So what happens in case of indirect? In case of indirect taxes, there is no perception of direct pinch. You don't feel that you are paying something. You don't feel that pain only. You don't feel that pain only, because normally the products are sold inclusive of taxes, etc. Then they say that indirect tax are inflationary in nature. Sir, what do you mean by indirect tax are inflationary in nature? Because of this indirect tax, the cost of any product or the cost of services will increase. Sir, how, sir? For example, you purchase a sari. This sari is worth rupees 1000. Government says, because you are purchasing this sari, because it is a goods, you will have to pay me 10% GST on this. So the total amount which you have to pay is how much? 1100 rupees. Meaning, because there is an indirect tax which is collected from you, the price which you are paying is increased by 100 rupees. It is increased by 100 rupees. It causes inflation. Indirect tax is causing what? Inflation. It is increasing the price of different commodities, etc. So it is inflationary in nature. Then indirect taxes are they have a wider tax base. Sir, what do you mean by indirect taxes has a wider tax base? Meaning, almost all the different types of goods and services which are available in the market, on that you will have to pay tax. All the different types of goods and services which you see, you will have to pay the taxes. Now, but whereas in case of direct tax, if your income is less than 2.5 lakhs, you don't have to pay. Meaning, majority of the people in India are those types of people whose income is less than 2.5 lakhs. Meaning, maximum number of people in India don't pay income tax only, but everyone is paying indirect tax. Everyone in India is paying indirect tax. Why, sir? Because indirect taxes has a wider tax base. Every product is taxable. Because every product is taxable, any person purchasing any product, he will have to pay indirect tax. They say that indirect tax promotes social welfare. What government is telling is, if you purchase any product, the government has listed few products as sin goods. For example, pan masala, for example, tobacco products, cigarettes, etc. On the cigarettes, etc., what government does it? They levy indirect tax at a higher rate. Sir, why the government is levying indirect tax at a higher rate for cigarettes, etc.? Because government feels, if I levy an higher rate of tax, if I collect more taxes from you, you will consume less. If the tax rate is high, say cigarette cost of manufacture is 5 rupees, government is collecting 10 rupees tax from you, government collects 15 rupees tax from you for cigarette. What will happen? Because of which the cost of cigarette will increase. The cost of cigarette will increase. So government is telling, if I increase the tax on cigarette, the price will increase. Because the price will increase, people will not consume cigarettes. So they are telling indirectly, indirect taxes are promoting social welfare. Nonsense. Then indirect tax is what, sir? Regressive in nature. Regressive in nature means, irrespective of who you are, irrespective of how much you are earning, you will have to pay me a tax called as indirect tax. So now let us understand the constitutional provision with regard to taxation. Sir, are we discussing something about Constitution of India? Answer is no. We are discussing just a part of Constitution of India which is relevant for us from the taxation point of view. Meaning, why is tax collected from us? For example, you are walking on the street, someone comes and tells you, please pay me tax or please give me some money. You'll ask him, why are you asking me money, sir? You'll ask that person, why are you asking me money? Why should I give you money? Okay, he tells, no, I want money, you give me money. You'll ask him, are you in need of money? Is there any problem which you have, or are you a beggar, etc.? You'll ask him, why do you need money? That is what you're going to ask him. He said, no, I just want the money. I want the money to collect it. I want you to give the money to me. Now, will you give money to that kind of person? You'll not give. If someone, you're walking on the road, if someone comes and tells you, please pay me a tax, please pay me a tax, you'll ask what tax you want, why are you asking me a tax, is there a tax on walking also, etc. You'll ask him. So there are different types of taxes in India which the government is collecting. Now there should be a person who should give the power to the government to collect the taxes. Just because you're a person who's walking on the street, no one can straight away come and tell you to pay the taxes. There should always be a person who should give that person an authority to ask you to pay some taxes to him. Similarly, the constitutional provisions are relevant from that angle, meaning we are seeing different types of taxes which are there in India. Who has given power to the government to collect all these taxes? As we all know, our Constitution of India is supreme law. Our Constitution of India is supreme law. It is the law which is mother of all laws. It is a supreme law, meaning what? It is mother of all laws. Whatever different kind of law which we have in India, the power to make such kind of law is coming from whom? Constitution of India. It is our Constitution of India who is giving power to the government to make all these different types of law. So the government is making all the different types of law. So what is Constitution of India? Constitution of India is the supreme law. Okay, it is the supreme law. Now, sir, is it relevant from exam perspective, sir? See, I am telling you again, this particular topic may not be relevant from exam perspective, but it is a base for you to understand how GST came. Did GST just like came overnight? Did GST, for example, last year, as we all know, that in the year 2020, COVID had come, correct? So when this disease came, when it circulated throughout the country and throughout the world, everyone had one question: from which part of the world did this disease come, or what was the reason for this disease to come? Many people told that bat is the reason, many people told that China is the person who is spreading this disease, etc. So what is happening over here? We are finding the inception of this particular disease. How did disease come into existence? Because if we know the base, or if we know the starting point, we can come and prepare a vaccine for this, etc., etc., etc. Now, just like that, whatever different types of laws which you are seeing in the world, or in India, we are concerned only with India, we don't have to see what is happening in the world. So whatever different types of laws are there with regard to taxation or any other type of law, there is a person who is telling you to make such kind of law. That person is our constitution. In India, that person is our constitution. So what is this constitution say? Constitution is the supreme law of India. It consists of preamble, 25 parts, 448 articles and 12 schedules. Anyways, that is something which is not relevant for us. Now, the power to levy any type of taxes comes from the Constitution of India. Meaning what, sir? If the Constitution of India is telling you not to levy a tax on a particular thing, you cannot levy a tax. For example, Constitution say you can levy income tax on all the different types of income except on agricultural income. Meaning, if there is a person who is earning an income through agriculture, he may earn 500 crores, I don't care. But if the income is earned by doing agricultural activities, you should not collect income tax from him. But if the same person is earning income by say selling any products, for example, he's having a shop where he's selling saris, he's having a shop where he's selling toys, he's having a shop where he's selling car. In that case, you collect taxes from him. But you should not collect tax on agriculture. Any income which is earned by a person by way of agriculture, you should not collect taxes. But if he's earning income of salary, collect. If he's earning income from house property, collect the taxes. If he's earning income from business, collect the taxes on that. If he's earning by income by sale of an land or building, that is capital gains if he's making, then pay the taxes. Meaning, who told us not to collect taxes on income tax? It is the Constitution. So if any government comes and tells I will collect tax on agricultural income, then we can oppose that thing. Why? Because it is against our Constitution. It is ultra virus to the Constitution. So whatever different types of taxes which is paid by you, the power to levy those taxes is given to the government from our Constitution. So if there is any tax which is not spoken by Constitution, you cannot collect that taxes only. So the power to levy and collect taxes, whether it is direct taxes or indirect taxes, it emerges from the Constitution of India. The power is given from Constitution of India. So in case any tax law, whether it is an act, rule, notification, etc., is not in conformity with the Constitution, it is called as ultra virus to the Constitution and it is illegal or void. If there is any tax law which is not as per the Constitution or which is against Constitution, then that type of tax law is illegal. We cannot make such kind of tax law. It will be void. Now, from taxation's perspective, see, our Constitution has how many articles? 448 articles. There are different cases, different parts with regard to which the Constitution is speaking. It speaks about right to live, right to privacy, etc. It talks about our rights. It talks about different things. Okay. Now, there are some articles which talks about taxation, which is relevant from taxation perspective. Which are these articles, sir? Article 265, Article 245, and Article 246. Article 265 says no tax can be collected. No tax can be what, sir? No tax can be levied or collected except by an authority of law. Meaning, if there is any person who is collecting taxes or who is levying taxes, then that taxes which is collected or levied by him is as per the authority. There should be an authority to levy. For example, there is an income tax which is collected by government from us. There is this income tax authority. There is GST which is collected. There is GST authority. Excise duty authority is there. VAT authority is there. Meaning, unless until there is an authority, unless until there is a law, you cannot collect any tax. For income tax, what is the law? Income tax law we have. For GST law we have, which you are going to study in the course of this particular videos, etc. Then for custom duty we have custom law. For excise duty we have excise law. For value added tax or sales tax we have sales tax law, etc. So there should always be an authority. Okay, if there is any tax which is collected or levied, then there should be an authority to levy such kind of taxes. Then Article 245. What is Article 245 telling? Article 245 says only the central government has the power to make law for whole of India or any part of India. What is it telling, sir? Article 245 is telling, sorry, 246 is telling 245 India. Now, what does Article 245 says? Any person who has the power to make law for this entire India, it is only the central government. The parliament or the central government has the power to make law for whole of India. If any person who has the power to make law for the whole of India, it is only the parliament, and parliament also has the power to make law for any part of India. So it is because of this reason you would have seen there are many different laws which are different for one particular region. There may be government says this law is applicable to whole of India. For example, GST law is applicable to whole of India. Similarly, there was something called as service tax. Service tax extends to whole of India excluding the state of Jammu and Kashmir. How are they making this law? Who are those persons who are deciding whether who is the person who is deciding whether this law should be applicable to whole of India or it should be applicable only to one part of India? It is the central government, or the parliament has the power to make law for the entire India or any part of India. Similarly, legislature of a state, for example, for example, state of Rajasthan, which is the capital of Rajasthan, Jaipur is the capital. It is the largest state of our country. So now if any law is required to be made for the state of Rajasthan, then the state government of Rajasthan has the power. Legislature of that state has the power. The legislature of the state or the state government has the power to make law for that entire state or any part of that particular state. Who has the power to make law for that one particular state or any part of that state? For the state of Rajasthan, the Rajasthan government can make law for the whole of Rajasthan or any part of Rajasthan. Similarly, the central government can make law for the whole of India or any part of India. It is because of this reason you would have seen many laws which are applicable in a different manner for northeastern states, etc. For these northeastern states, no, there are many laws which are applicable in a different manner, which we'll see under GST also. GST also is applicable in a different manner for different states. Why? Because the power is given like that. So what is this point talking about, sir? Section Article 245 says the Parliament has the power to make law for whole or any part of a particular territory of India, and legislature of the state has the power to make law for whole or any part of that particular state. Now, there is one more article called as Article 246. This Article 246 has something called as 7th schedule in it. This Article 246 has something called as 7th schedule. This 7th schedule has 3 lists: union list, state list and concurrent list. This 7th schedule is having what, sir? It is having 3 different lists. Which are this list? Union list, state list and concurrent list. Okay, sir, it has union list, state list and concurrent list. What is this union list, state list and concurrent list? Now, union list contains different matters or it contains different activities with regard to which only central government can make law. Union list, it contains different matter with regard to which only central government has the exclusive right to make law. For example, union list contains topic with regard to income tax. So who has the power to make law with regard to income tax? Central government. Union list talks about custom duty. Who has the power to make law with regard to custom duty? Central government. Union list talks about excise duty. Who has the power to make law with regard to excise duty? Central government. Union list talks about CST, central sales tax. Who has the power to make law with regard to CST? Central government. Similarly, state list contains different matters or it contains different activities with regard to which only state government can make the law. Only the state government has the power to make the law with regard to these items. So state list contains the matters in respect of which the state government has the right, exclusive right. It has the exclusive right. Only state government can make the law with regard to these points. What are these? For example, value added tax, VAT which you are paying, sales tax which you are paying. The power to levy VAT or sales tax is only with state government. Similarly, SCD on alcohol, that is state excise duty collected on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. On alcohol, a state only has the power to make law. Similarly, luxury tax, entertainment tax, etc. This particular state government only has the power to collect taxes or power to make law with regard to that particular matter. Meaning, the 7th schedule, Article 246 has 7th schedule which gives the different list of items, with regard to which only central government can make the law, with regard to which only state government can make the law, and there is something called as concurrent list. Whatever matters are there in this concurrent list, with regard to this, central government and state government can jointly make the law. For example, the criminal laws which we have, Indian Penal Code, law with regard to education, law with regard to stamp duty, etc. These are different types of matters in with regard to which central government and state government can jointly come and make the law. For example, they say the minimum age of education, meaning up to the age of 16 years, every child should be educated. Every person who is up to the age of 16 years should be educated. Till that time, you should not send that person to work. For example, to abolish child labor, they have introduced this particular act. Or there may be act which is telling that if there is a working woman, if there is an woman who is working in a particular office, they should get maternity leave. They should get maternity leave after a period of 7 months time, etc. Who is telling there is a law? There is a law. Now this law is not made by one person. Both central government and state government are jointly coming and making this law. So this law will not be applicable only to one part of India. It will be applicable to all the different parts of India. It will be applicable to the entire India, including all the different states. So concurrent list consent about, talks about different matters with regard to which central government and state government jointly has the power to make law. Sir, but why are we discussing this, sir? Sir, we discussed about 265, we discussed about 245, we discussed about 246, but why are we discussing about all these things, sir? I am not understanding, sir. I am not understanding. Why are we discussing about all these things? You are telling some base is there, some base is there. What is that base? The base is that nowhere in our constitution there was a power given to both central government and state government to jointly collect the taxes. All these days, the taxes which was collected, all these days means what? All the days before GST. Before GST was introduced, all those days before GST was introduced, government was collecting tax. What type of tax? Central government has a list. Central government was collecting income tax. The income tax was not given to state government. It was collecting excise duty, custom duty. That excise duty, custom duty revenue was not given to state government. Why? Because it was there in union list and the power was only with central government. Similarly, there was something which was there in state list. The power was only with state government. The power was only with state government, meaning there was no article in our constitution, there was no point in our constitution which was telling that both central government and state government can jointly levy taxes. GST was an type of indirect tax reform wherein now both central government and state government have the power to levy the tax jointly. So government had to amend our constitution. Now because there is this particular item which with regard to what, that both central government and state government can jointly levy taxes was not there in our constitution, they had to make an amendment in our constitution. They had to make what, sir? They had to make a change in our constitution. They had to make one particular change in our constitution. Why was there need for making amendments, sir? Because there was no article in our constitution which told that both central government and state government can jointly make a law. So this amendment was made in our constitution with what, sir? This amendment was made with Constitutional 101st Amendment Act 2016. Constitutional 101st Amendment Act 2016 was passed. With this amendment, they introduced few articles. They introduced Article 246A. They introduced Article 269A. They introduced Article 279, etc., etc. Now they introduced a new article called as 246A, which told now central government and state government jointly can make law with regard to GST. See, before there was this article 246 which was telling on this matter only state government can make, on this matter only central government can make, etc., etc. But there was no particular article in our constitution which was telling that central government and state government can jointly collect a tax. They can jointly collect a tax. So they made an amendment in our constitution. That amendment is what, sir? Constitutional 101st Amendment Act 2016. This amendment was made. With this amendment, they had introduced various articles. One of the article is Article 246A. What is this Article 246A telling? Now, both central government and state government can jointly make law with regard to GST. They can jointly make law with regard to GST. Now, we'll just see what was the why was this amendment made. What was the need for this amendment and what are the significant provisions of this Constitutional 101st Amendment Act 2016. Now, need of constitutional amendment. Why was constitutional amendment required? Because introduction of GST required an amendment in the constitution so as to enable the integration of central excise duty, additional duties of customs, state VAT, certain state specific taxes and service tax into a comprehensive GST, meaning there were different types of taxes. Which was the different types of taxes? Central excise duty, additional duties on customs, then sales tax, value added tax, service tax, etc. Now they wanted to include all these different types of taxes in one bucket. For putting all these different types of taxes in one bucket, they had to make a change in our constitution. That constitutional change was made through constitutional amendment, and to empower the central government and state government to levy and collect it, meaning the change was not only to put all these different types of taxes in one basket. By putting this taxes in one basket, they also wanted to introduce a new tax called as GST, which should be collected by both central government and state government. Now the power I am giving to both central government and state government to collect GST from individuals. So consequently, because of this reason, Constitutional 101st Amendment Act 2016 was passed, and it has how many sections? 20 sections. What are the significant provisions? Now concurrent powers. Concurrent powers means what? Equal powers was given to both parliament. Parliament is one central government. State legislature means what? State government. Wherever you see parliament, it means central government. Wherever you see legislature of state, it means state government. So now what happens, sir? Now concurrent powers are given to both central government and state government to make law on taxing goods and services. A new power has been given to both before central government was only taxing on few goods, state government was only taxing on few goods, etc. But now powers are given to both central government and state government. And levy of integrated goods and service tax on interstate supply of goods and services to be levied and collected by central government, apportioned between union and states in the manner provided in parliament as recommended by Gst Council, etc. Meaning they also told, this particular article which was introduced also told that if you make a supply from one state to another state, there are two types of supply under GST, which we'll discuss in our next class or next video. There are two types of supply. One type of supply is called as intrastate supply. The other type of supply is called as interstate supply. One is called as what, sir? Intrastate. Another one is called as interstate. Intrastate supply means supply happening within the same state, and interstate means supply happening between two different states. So they are telling, if the supply is happening from one state to another state, there will be a tax called as IGST levied on it. Please note, we'll discuss about this provision in our next video. We'll discuss in detail, but for general understanding, you understand what intrastate supply means: supply happening within the same state. Interstate supply means supply happening between two different states. So they are telling, if there is an interstate supply, integrated goods and services tax will be levied. IGST will be levied. This IGST which you are paying to the government will be divided between central government and the state government. How this division will happen? Based on the recommendation of the Gst Council. That was also told in this particular article. Then the central government will have the power to make the determine the principles with regard to place of supply. When can I treat a particular supply as an interstate supply? That with regard to that, the power has only the central government or the parliament has power to make the law. Now you are telling, sir, IGST is levied, will be levied on interstate supply. But how will I come to know whether a supply is interstate or intrastate supply? The central government will have the power to decide when a particular supply will be treated as interstate supply and when a supply will be treated as intrastate supply. Then they also told that GST will be levied on all goods or services except on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Meaning whatever different types of goods you have in India, whatever different types of services you have in India, on all these goods and services I will levy a tax called as GST, except on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Meaning GST is not levied on this particular product. Which product, sir? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Sir, does that mean that alcoholic liquor for human consumption is not goods? No. They are not telling that. They are telling alcoholic liquor for human consumption is also goods. But as on today, I will not levy any, or GST will never be levied on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. GST will never be levied on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Whatever other types of goods is there, there is a pen, there is a shirt, there is specs, there is a computer, there is a fan, etc. There are any services which you are providing, etc. On all the different types of goods, all the different types of services, you should levy GST except on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Then similarly, they are telling on these 5 products, which I also call them as HP man. On these 5 products, GST will be levied from the date notified by the government. Please note, on alcoholic liquor for human consumption, GST can never be levied. But on these 5 products, GST will be levied from a future date which will be notified by the government. Government will tell you from which date GST will be levied on this particular products. So what are these products? So on following products, GST shall not be levied till the date notified by the council on the notified by the government on the recommendation of council. So government will notify a date which GST council will recommend it to the council. GST council will recommend a date to the government. From that date only GST will be levied on this product. Which are this product? Petroleum crude, high speed diesel, motor spirit, natural gas and aviation turbine fuel. Meaning what, sir? HP man, H for high speed diesel, P for petroleum crude, M for motor spirit, A for aviation turbine fuel and N for natural gas. On these 5 different products, as on today, when you are watching this video, GST is not applicable. As on today, the GST is not applicable. But can they make GST applicable on this product? Yes. Maybe in a future period of time, once the council makes recommendation to levy GST on this product, GST will be made applicable. Similarly, on tobacco and tobacco products, GST will also be levied, and other types of taxes which are there already, pre-GST taxes, that is excise duty, will also be levied. Meaning the union government means central government, shall retain the power to levy excise duty on aforesaid product beside, meaning apart from the above products, that is HP man, also on tobacco and tobacco products, the central government has the power to collect from you what? Excise duty, manufactured or produced in India. Then they also made a new article, introduced a new article called as Article 279A, which gave into arise, because of which a new council was made ready, that is GST Council. This GST Council will make recommendation to the government with regard to different matters in concerning GST, meaning whatever changes you are seeing with regard to GST in India is recommended by this GST Council. It is not Narendra Modi who is making the law with regard to GST. It is not Nirmala Sitharaman who is making the law with regard to GST. They have appointed few people. These people are called as GST Council. They will make a recommendation to the government, and then government will make that particular recommendation as the law. Article 279 of the Constitution empowers the President of India to constitute a joint forum of central and state, namely GST Council. So it is a forum of center and state. Please note, with regard to all these different points which you are reading, we'll discuss separately. Okay, there are separate provisions with regard to GST Council. We'll learn it over there. But what are the significant changes which was made because of this constitutional amendment? We are just giving a brief to it. Then when did this particular constitution, the change or this GST Council, what is the date from which GST Council will came into existence? GST Council will come into existence from 12th of September 2016, and first GST Council meeting was held on 15th of September 2016. It is important from your MCQ point of view, from fill in the blanks point of view, etc. Okay, these are the significant changes which was happened in this particular because of this particular amendment in our constitution. Okay, sir. Now these two articles are very important. Which are these articles, sir? Article 246A and Article 269A. If you see your institute material, they have just given a general discussion on that, but I have given whatever is actually written in our constitution, whatever is there in the law, legal provisions I have written. In your material, general discussion they have made. So I'll tell that particular point in general manner also, but whatever is given in the law, the actual points are written over here. Now, what is this article 246A? Power to make law with respect to GST. Article 246A says, now central government or the parliament and the state government or the legislature of state jointly have the power to make law with regard to GST, goods and services tax. Point number 1 is telling that point. Second point is telling law with regard to interstate supply. Law with regard to what? Supply from one state to another state can be made only by the parliament or the central government. That is what this particular article is given. Notwithstanding, what is this particular point telling? Notwithstanding to anything contained in Article 246 or 245, meaning whatever is there in Article 246 and 245 is still applicable, but apart from that, the parliament and the legislature of every state shall have the power to make law with respect to goods and services tax imposed by the union or by the state, by such state. Meaning something is already given in 246 and 254. Let that particular point be there. Apart from that, the central government and state government can jointly come together now and make law with regard to GST, make law with regard to goods and services tax, which will be levied and collected by central government and state government. And they say the parliament has exclusive power. Exclusive power means what, sir? Exclusive power means only that person has the power. Only that person will have the power. So the parliament has exclusive power to make law with respect to goods and services tax, where that supply of goods or services or both takes place in the course of interstate trade and commerce. Meaning, whenever there is an interstate trade and commerce happening, with regard to that interstate trade and commerce, who has the power to make law? Only central government has the power to make law. And they have also inserted an explanation. They say the provisions of this article shall, in respect of goods and services tax referred to in clause section 729A subsection 5 shall take effect from the date recommendation by Gst Council. They are talking about HP man. Article 246A clause 1 and 2 is telling what? You can make law with regard to taxation of goods and services tax, etc. But on HP man, when should I levy GST will be decided by the council, and based on that date I will make the law. That is that reference of that particular point they have also made. Then Article 269A. What is this Article 269A? Article 269A talks about levy and collection of GST in case of interstate supply. Whenever you are making an interstate supply, whenever a supply is made from one state to another state, who can levy the taxes? How will this taxes be distributed? Who has the power to levy the taxes? They say, very simple point, okay? With regard to interstate supply, only central government has the power to levy taxes. This tax which you are paying to the central government will be divided by central government to central government and state government. How it will be divided, what is the ratio, etc. we'll see later. Okay, we'll see all these things later. But what is given in the law, for the time being, let us understand. Please note, we have not actually started the discussion on GST. GST discussion will start from tomorrow. What do you mean by GST, etc. We'll start that discussion from the next video, etc. But as of now, understand the base, how GST came into existence, etc. etc. Now, what is this particular point? Levy and collection of GST in the in course of interstate trade and commerce. If you are levying any GST in the case of interstate trade and commerce, then such GST can be levied by whom? Goods and services tax in the course of interstate trade and commerce shall be levied by the government of India. Who is the government of India? That is nothing but central government. And such taxes shall be apportioned between union and state. Whatever taxes is collected by the central government or the government of India will be apportioned by them to central and states in the manner as may be prescribed by the Parliament on the recommendation of GST Council. How is the manner? Whatever manner is given by the GST Council, in that manner we will divide it. Explanation. They are telling, for the purpose of this clause, supply of goods or services in the course of import into territory of India shall be deemed to be an interstate supply. Meaning, if you are importing anything into India, that importation of goods or importation of services shall also be treated as interstate supply. Then they next point which they say is, the Parliament may by law formulate the principles for determining the place of supply, and when a supply of goods or services shall be treated as interstate supply. The Parliament or the central government has the power to make law with regard to place of supply. Place of supply is very important for understanding whether a particular transaction is interstate supply or intrastate supply. The central government has the power to make law with regard to that particular place of supply provisions, and when I will call a transaction as interstate supply, with regard to that also central government has the power to make law. Now, this is constitutional provision with regard to GST. So in this video we had discussed about what, sir? We had discussed about first your course and what is which group you have this paper, the marks allocation, etc. and with regard to amendment. Then we saw exam pattern. After that, how is this course which will be made available to you. Then we discussed about what do you mean by tax. Then we saw different types of taxes: in direct tax, indirect tax, direct tax, incident impact on same person, indirect tax, incident impact on two different persons. Then we saw features of indirect taxes. After that, we saw constitutional provision with regard to taxes. 265 says no tax can be levied or collected unless until there is an authority to levy such taxes. 245 says central government has the power to make law for the entire India or any part of India. State government has the power to make law for whole of state or any part of state. Parliament means what? Central government. Legislature of state means what? State government. Then 246 said there is three lists: union list, state list and concurrent list. Whatever is there in union list, only central government can make the law. Whatever is there in state list, only state government can make the law. Whatever is there in concurrent list, only the both the central government and state government can jointly make the law. Then we understood why was there a need for constitutional amendment, because there was no law, there was no particular article in our constitution which said that both central government and state government can jointly make a law. So they made a change in or amendment in our constitution by making this change. Constitutional 101st Amendment Act was made. By this Constitutional 101st Amendment Act, they introduced a new article called as Article 246A. Because of this Article 246A, now the power was given to both central government and state government to levy GST. To levy GST, to collect a tax called as GST, the power was given to both central government and state government, and other provisions with regard to that. Then we saw 246A and 269A. Okay, let us very soon meet in our next video. Till then, tada, bye bye, enjoy. Okay, before we close, I hope you are all understanding the manner of the way I am teaching. For the demo videos, you can download the mobile application. You will find the demo videos in that mobile application. This is the only video which I am going to upload with demo video with regard to GST and with regard to indirect taxes for CMA students, which I am going to upload on YouTube. The other videos will be available on the website, the mobile application. We'll meet very soon in the mobile application. Let us straight away go there and watch other videos. Till then, tata, bye bye, enjoy.